What is the function of this muscle? Gabby here from Med School Bootcamp, and here we're looking at a dissection along the posterior aspects of the abdominal wall. So we can see aspects of the thorax here, right? So the thoracic organs have been removed, like the heart and the lungs. We can then see portions of the diaphragm, so more of the anterior aspects of the diaphragm have been removed, and we can kind of just see where it's been cut. And we could also see some of the posterior aspects of the diaphragm. And we could also see within the abdominal cavity right over here, right, we've removed most of the abdominal organs, but we did maintain here the kidneys. So we can see the right kidney, and we could also see the left kidney, as well as the adrenal glands that kind of sit right on top of them. Now we know that we have a variety of muscles that contribute to the posterior abdominal wall, including quadratus lumborum, iliacus, as well as psoas major. And in this case, to help us identify which one of these muscles is being pointed at here, I want you to have a look at the ureter. So here's the ureter that is traveling or exiting the kidneys and eventually descending from the abdomen and into the pelvis to eventually drain that urine into the bladder. Now, the ureter itself is going to lie superficially or lie right on top of this thick muscle here. And this muscle is going to originate along aspects of the vertebral body. So you can't really see, it kind of disappears as it continues to ascend over here, but here's the vertebra. So essentially it would attach or originate along the aspects of the vertebra, specifically in the lower thoracic and upper lumbar vertebrae. But nonetheless, it will go ahead, it will start there and travel downwards or more distally, where it will insert along the lesser trochanter of the femur. So this muscle specifically is going to be crossing the hip joint, therefore it will be acting on the hip joint. Now, if we actually look at the muscle fibers themselves, and we have the running in this direction, and if we think of contraction, right? So contraction is always going to occur from the insertion point to the origin point. So when this muscle contracts, as you can probably imagine, it's going to act to flex the hip. So the psoas major muscle as well as the iliacus muscle are going to eventually converge to form one tendon, and both of those muscles are going to act as our primary hip flexors. But that being said, when only one side of the muscle contracts, so in this case we have the contraction of the right psoas major, we would then get ipsilateral hip flexion on the right side. So let's go ahead and double check our answer here. The function of the psoas major is ipsilateral hip flexion, and that's our correct answer.